Hey everybody, we are live with our Obi-Wan Kenobi Let's Cross Out watch party now, and after show because Disney
you already watched it.
Exactly.
The episodes are already out.
The episodes
we
came
didn't
out.
know they were going to debut at midnight on the East Coast. We're all ready to get started, so we hope you all watch your Star Wars, got your Star Wars on, whatever.
Yeah, because it was dropped early.
This is the MUSE TV watch party for Obi-Wan Kenobi, episode whatever, on Thursday. It's still Thursday. We're not even on Friday. It's still May 26th right now. It's not May 26th.
Yep. Oh. So thank you everybody for joining us. Sorry we got surprised as much as anybody else. Just to let everybody know, I've been at Star Wars Celebration all day today, and they had a special. If you were at the Lucasfilm Limited Showcase, everybody who was in that presentation got the chance to return at 7 o'clock to watch the first two episodes inside the auditorium there. So yeah,
maybe that's why they dropped it early.
Yeah, and Marvin's saying they dropped it at 9, so it makes perfect sense because it ended at 9 o'clock.
Well,
so what can you say?
I would have liked a heads up would have been nice.
And we got Robert Garcia here already. Great.
And by the way, everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's safe. You know, exactly. I know it's been a very
crazy week.
I don't even know what to say at times like this with everything going on, but I hope you're doing well. I hope your loved ones are well, and thank you for joining us. Thanks for giving us some time, and I hope everyone's doing okay. I don't know what to say, but you know, thank you for listening, for watching, and I hope everyone's all right. And just make sure your loved ones know you love them. That's all I can really think of to say at a time like this. But
exactly.
Hope everyone's all right.
Yep. But
how are you, Mike?
I'm doing great. It was a long day at Star Wars Celebration. Had a lot of fun. We got another long day tomorrow.
So Star Wars Celebration, which I was not approved for, by the way.
Yep. Well, I found out that I was specially approved. So you're getting you're gonna see a lot of things that a lot of people didn't get or did get, but we have some great footage from Jon Favreau came out during the stage, said he was bringing they brought some of the props and sets from The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. I have video coverage on that. I just need to edit it. So hopefully we'll get that.
And I think they announced The Mandalorian season 3 is coming February
2023.
So it's going to be a bit of a wait.
Yep.
So let's see, February. So it's like 9 months, it's basically 9 months from now. But February 2023. And I think we got the first trailer for Andor as well today.
And I saw footage from season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Oh, how did it look?
It looks really good. I'm telling you, season 3 is going to be really good.
Any big reveals in that footage? No. Anything that stood out?
No, if you saw the ending of season 2, the Book of Boba Fett and what's occurring with Din Djarin, you already kind of know what season 3 is going to be like.
Well, is Luke there?
No, I did not see anything with Luke. I'm not going
to Ahsoka in there.
No.
Is Moff Gideon in there?
No. But if you want to go see my interview with Giancarlo Esposito, you may get a hint.
Is Bo-Katan Kryze, Katie Sackhoff in there?
Well, I blinked twice, so I don't know.
It's not a spoiler if it's footage that was shown at a convention. You can say what you saw.
I just don't want to get in trouble.
Why would you get in trouble?
I don't know. So
There's
shoot.
no embargo. There's no embargo on talking about the footage, right?
No.
So then, what
But
are you?
yeah, she's in
Why are you
it.
giving
She's
me a
in
hard
it.
time here, Mike?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
the people in the chat want to know.
Okay.
They want to
Yeah.
know about the Star Wars Celebrate. Okay, so that's a yes, correct?
Yeah, she's in
Okay.
it. So
Disney's not going to send the proton torpedoes after you. They're not going to send Mickey Mouse after you. He's not going to beat you up like he did the Jonas Brothers. So chill, you're good.
hey, you saw what he did to the Jonas Brothers, so I'd rather be safe.
We have a safe space here. Thank you for joining us. We are going to get right into it.
Yep.
In case you didn't know, that's Mike Sandoval with MUSE TV. I'm Jeffrey Harris, reporter extraordinaire, 411 Mania, Tomato Meter approved film critic. So thank you. So let's get into it. Obi-Wan Kenobi, episode 1.
Oh, and we have a special guest right now.
Oh.
Third person partying with us.
Hey, guys.
Robert Garcia is with us.
Yeah.
Mike and Jeffrey, how are you guys?
Doing good. Since it's early now and we got to see the episodes early.
Yeah.
We can bring more people on.
Robert, I feel like I haven't seen you in person or talked to you in 2 years.
No, well, I mean, I've seen John. I see John every once in a while at some events.
Yeah.
I've seen Mike. I saw Mike. Where did we run into each other? Like a couple weeks ago.
WonderCon.
Where were we? WonderCon. There you go. Well, yeah, back in Anaheim.
WonderCon. I'm sorry.
So yeah, Jeffrey is the only one that I have not seen in a while.
Yeah, it's good to see you though, man.
And I'm bummed that
you
didn't
see him here either because he has his icon.
Yeah, I'm bummed that you didn't get a chance to go to Celebration, Jeffrey. I was actually, every time I go somewhere, I'm always looking for you guys. I'm always looking for Mike, for John, for Jeffrey. So
thank you, Robert. That's great. Hope you and your family are well.
Yeah.
Yes, we're all doing really good.
So before we move forward, everybody in the chat, everybody who's watching, we're not doing the watch party this time because it's already out. Hopefully everybody has seen it. If you haven't seen it, jump off and watch it.
We scheduled the show tonight to anticipate a watch party because we didn't know the episodes were going to be dropping 2 hours earlier before the show. They always drop them at midnight or 11:50. That's the thing. That's whatever. We're sorry. We didn't know. We had no idea.
Yeah.
They said May 27th. It is May 26th. On the dot.
Here's the thing. They are so. I mean, either way, I always make it a point to go to Star Wars Celebration, whether I'm working for an outlet or just as a fan. I'm still going.
And this was the first celebration in Anaheim in 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. But I kept looking at the event schedule for the panels, and I kept noticing that there was still a decent block that they hadn't posted or they hadn't filled inside the main celebration stage, which is inside the arena. So there was, other chat groups I've seen or like Star Wars Celebration groups. There was a lot of talk of maybe them screening it. But yeah, so that was something that I was kind of thinking and was anticipating. And I will say this too. I was really anticipating an Indiana Jones trailer. I mean,
same here.
What we got today with John Williams, I mean, it was still awesome, but I was really thinking we were going to get a trailer, but I'm still happy with what we got today. It was still really cool.
We got to cherish the time we get to see John Williams at this point.
Besides Andor, besides Willow, and besides Mandalorian season 3 announcements, what else did we? What were like? What's the big news of the day?
John Watts.
Which one?
John Watts gonna produce
with Jude Law.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Skeleton Crew.
There you go, Skeleton Crew.
So it's called. What is it? So what is the gist of Skeleton Crew? Do we know? Do we know anything yet?
Robert?
I mean, it's John Watson. Who I'm sorry, who was the other person?
I forgot who the other person
Jude
was.
Law.
Yeah. Well, no, but
No,
the
writers and the producers.
The writers, yeah. So Jude Law's in it, but it's John Watson, and it's escaping me. And it's funny because I was there, completely just like geeking out, not taking notes like I usually would, or trying to get photos,
Yeah.
like I would before. So
Mhm.
I didn't even have my phone up. It was like, yeah, there's like nothing going on with just
Yeah.
me, trying to take it all in. But it's a show with like an all like
Tom Watts, Christopher Ford.
with a child kid cast. There's a bunch of kids in the cast.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a new series with Jude Law. I didn't even catch all of it.
Yeah, Marvin
This
Z
is totally
got
out
it.
of left field.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew is about 4
Yes,
kids
yeah.
that go on an adventure across the Star Wars galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this? So I guess this is before the sequel trilogy, then.
No, it's after Return of the Jedi.
It's supposed to be after Return.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, before the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
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 Not. Then why did you say no?
Because I thought you said prequel, not sequel.
I said sequel.
Well.
So is this okay? Group of lost kids trying to find their way. They're trying to find their way home. Is this going to be like the Goonies, or like what are they doing here? Like Spider-Man, but
they didn't describe much other than the simple plot.
Who is Jude Law?
Yeah.
Well, they just announced him. They just announced him as being part of the production.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there wasn't like a whole detailed synopsis or a whole lot of insight into that production.
Jude Law is 49, by the way. Did you guys know that? He's been around a hot minute. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Okay, so I guess we can get into Kenobi now. So, what are everyone's initial impressions?
I love it. I like it. I really, really like it. Deborah Chow's Deborah Chow, she can really direct some action sequences. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Same here. I thought episode 1 was really good.
Yeah,
and it kind of it's not like where you're kind of looking at it and you're like, well, how does this fit in? It makes sense to what's to come. Or what we've seen already.
Jeffrey, have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I saw the first episode.
Oh, okay. Oh, you didn't see the second one?
No, because I didn't go to Celebration today, and I just got home from work, and Mike's like, well, they already dropped the episodes, so I tried to watch one episode.
Well, they gave us the press episodes the same time as they dropped it.
As they dropped. This is not like with Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Where we got them with a little bit of early and some other Disney Plus exclusives, which I kind of understand. Disney likes to play it really close to the vest with some of these shows, and they don't want spoilers getting out. And look, I'm not going to name names, but we know there are major big publications out there that put spoilers out online without any care in the world.
Can I name one?
I'm not naming one, but I'm not telling you what to do.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a good episode. I liked it. But I could see why, because there's a lot of spoilers in the first episode really shows a lot.
Well, now we at least okay. So basically, we have a semblance of the plot to give everyone a recap. And just before we get started here, we are going to go deep into discussion on the first episode. It's out. So if you're watching us now and you don't want to hear about what happened in the first episode, now's the time to pause the show, go and watch the episode, and then come back and resume. Okay?
Yeah.
Now is this okay? So basically,
we'll be on to at least 12:30 because I got to get up early tomorrow
Okay.
to get this Star Wars Celebration again.
So we're picking up 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's hiding out on Tatooine. He's watching over Luke. He's very dejected. He feels like they've lost. All he has left is this one hope with Luke. And we see the Inquisitors. We see the Grand Inquisitor, the fifth brother, and the third sister are hunting Jedi across the galaxy. We saw Grand Inquisitor and fifth brother. I believe it's fifth brother. Let me check.
No, it is. It's fifth brother.
It's fifth brother.
Yeah.
Both characters who were introduced on Star Wars Rebels. Mm-hmm. They are part of like this hunting party. They do locate a Jedi on Tatooine. It's not Obi-Wan Kenobi, but then there's another Jedi named Reva who is her name is Reva, but she is the third sister, I think, of the Inquisitorum.
Yes, she's third sister.
But her real name is Reva, and I get the sense that because there's this prologue where we see the Jedi purge at the temple, and we see these kids, these Jedi younglings, trying to escape while the troopers are attacking. And I believe Reva was probably one of those kids. So,
well,
my guess is that she's so basically she has a vendetta to capture Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I get the sense that she feels that Obi-Wan Kenobi abandoned her in her hour of need. It didn't help her when she was desperate for salvation.
Well, I what I'm thinking too is that they were, the kids were probably brainwashed and led to believe, of course, the Jedi are evil. So I don't want to say too much because you haven't seen episode 2 yet. So there's going to be a little bit more information in episode 2.
Well, we know the Grand Inquisitor, he used to be a Jedi. He used to be like a Jedi Sentinel, and he was not brainwashed. He actually turned on the Jedi and joined Emperor Palpatine and Vader, based on what's been written before. And then we meet young Leia, who's on Alderaan, in the care of her adopted parents. Once again, it's Jimmy Smits who played Bail Organa.
Yeah, good to see him back
in the trilogy.
Good to see a Latino back in the role.
Then, so at some point, Leia gets kidnapped by like these cutthroats. One of them is played by
Flea.
Flea.
Yeah.
I bet you two like that, right?
That's awesome.
I like that. It reminded me of Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. It's his first motion picture role since Back to the Future Part 3. I don't know that with certainty, but like, has Flea been acting in anything since Back to the Future Part 3?
I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. He's done some TV shows, like guest appearance TV shows, but no, I don't think a movie it hasn't done in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since I think I've seen him in anything.
I'm curious how old Flea is.
Oh, he has to be
59.
Yeah, close to 60, right?
Yeah.
He's almost 60. So I almost didn't I thought, like, who is this guy? He looks familiar. It's Flea. It's Flea. So I guess my biggest concern is if you were going to do they talked about an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie before this show got off the ground. And I'm like, well, his whole thing is he's there to protect and watch over Luke. And if you're going to get him off Tatooine, there would need to be a damn good reason. And someone kidnapping Leia is probably as good a reason as any for him to go off planet, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, but then we learn at the end of the episode that the people who kidnapped Leia did so deliberately, at the behest of Reva, the third sister of the Inquisitors, of the Sith Inquisitors, because she has a vendetta to capture and kill Obi-Wan Kenobi that the Grand Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother do not like, and like you have a vendetta here. You're being too impulsive about it. So,
and there is some friction. There's friction amongst them.
Yep.
Yeah.
But for some reason, she has a personal thing going where she has to get Kenobi. That's where she's acting on her own, where she feels desperate to get revenge on Kenobi for some reason. And my guess is because she was probably one of those kids at the very beginning of the first episode, who probably just was able to escape the Jedi Purge or was maybe captured. And she probably blames Kenobi for not saving her or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that's just my prediction. I could be off there.
It's a good prediction because
here are my big issues with the episode. The casting of the Inquisitors does not work. Specifically, we have Rupert Friend playing the Grand Inquisitor here. He doesn't sound right. He doesn't look right. He is not a good Grand Inquisitor. Jason Isaacs was the voice of the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels. He sounds nothing like the character did in Rebels. He doesn't really act the same. He doesn't sound the same. And it was jarring because this is like the live action debut of this character, that he almost seems not like the same character to me. And that kind of bothered me.
I think that's where the problem of having Rebels as canon and some of the cartoons as canon kind of plays. I could see where people are gonna feel that.
It's gonna skew your perception of the character once it goes into live action.
This was the debut of these characters
in live action.
In live action, and now it's like I didn't get this when we saw Bo-Katan, because they got Katie Sackhoff to play Bo-Katan in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And she was Bo-Katan in the Clone Wars. Now, Ahsoka, it was Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
And even though it's not Ashley Eckstein, the transition to Ahsoka's live action debut was not as jarring to me.
Well, and also too, like with Ahsoka, Ashley played Ahsoka at a younger age, where Ahsoka's older now. So the voice change is fine.
Matured. Yeah, to me, it just seems like a maturing of the character and of the voice when we saw the live action version. So, but my question, regarding when we see the transition from, canon such as Rebels and those characters then move forward into live action is, I'm sure they're having production meetings regarding this stuff with casting directors and directors of the live action versions who are now going to be, putting these characters on the screen, what their thought process is, who do they feel is best to fill that character. So I'm sure it goes through, a number of channels before they come to the conclusion or a final decision on who they're casting. But yeah, that's the only thing that does take me out of it a little bit. And another thing is, I'm not a huge, massive Rebels fan. It was, I did watch it. I did follow up with it.
You were lost, Robert.
No, well, I did watch the episodes, but it wasn't as, I wasn't as, I could say, like emotionally attached to the Rebels series as I am like the Mandalorian.
These aren't even the main cat. These are like antagonists from Rebels.
Oh right, no. Like I do agree.
I posted. I sent you some pictures of the animated versions.
I got them now and I have them up. Let me.
I don't know. It was. I just feel like they veered a little too far from where we saw these. So that's Fifth Brother, as he first appeared in Rebels,
which is close. It's not 100%, but it's close.
Well, he looked like he had green skin.
Yeah. Here it's a little gray.
I don't know. Maybe there's something's going to happen to him. That will make him change his appearance. But it didn't look and sound like the same character to me. And the same with and look, my experience with Rupert Friend is very limited. But I do not think he was a good choice for Grand Inquisitor. I'm sorry. He's just very flat. And my only frame of reference for this actor is that Hitman movie he did.
Now, which one?
Robert lost his audio. He's trying to fix it. So.
Okay.
What did you think of the casting, Mike?
The Inquisitor casting is kind of weird because I did watch Rebels, which kind of feels a little weird. To what it is, but I could overlook it. You know,
it's like it's not necessarily that I wanted someone to directly imitate Jason Isaacs, but it just doesn't. It doesn't even like look and move in. It's not just the sound; it's the way he acts and moves. He just doesn't seem quite like the same character. And I just found Rupert Friend's performance is very stiff, and I thought Isaac's performance. It's a vocal performance, but I thought the character in the series was like wondrous and awe-inspiring. So yeah, I just don't know what I don't know why they cast Rupert Friend and why they thought he was the best choice. And look, maybe Jason Isaacs wasn't available. I don't know if they asked him or not. He has a ton of film and TV experience. But I am disappointed they did not bring him back to play this character and give him the chance to play this character in live action. I think it would have been perfect. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Robert?
Sorry, I
nerve here, man. Yeah. Robert, I'm gonna send Darth Vader after you. We're gonna get Darth Vader to set you straight.
I lost a large portion of the audio. I had to jump back in and come back, or jump out and jump back in. But I mean, before I lost you, I agree that the transition of the character and the voice and the demeanor doesn't carry over into the live action for me. I prefer the animated version much more to the live action. It was much more menacing.
It doesn't have to be that way, because like when we see Bo-Katan show up in live action, I didn't even give it a second thought. You know? Yeah. It just looked right.
Because out of all the Inquisitors, the one that I kind of feared the most is Reva.
Okay, right.
Because and the other ones just don't seem as menacing as her.
Right. And when you're dealing with the Grand Inquisitor, that's not how you should be feeling.
Right.
But
yeah, I don't know if they maybe toned the other.
Here was my favorite. My favorite scene though this week was the little Jawa Tika selling parts.
Selling him back his stolen parts.
And the best thing I love is when I say, you could have at least cleaned it before you tried to sell it back to me.
And let's be honest. I mean, in the area I grew up in when I was younger, we did have somebody that was like that in your neighborhood.
Yep. That's exactly.
Steals your stuff to sell it back to you.
Like, hey, bro, you took my rake last week out of my backyard. Now you want to sell it to me? Sell it back to me?
Yep.
I like it. But also, it looks like the Jawa Tika sold Obi-Wan Kenobi the little T-16 toy,
right?
Luke playing with way back in the original trilogy in Episode 4, A New Hope.
Right.
Like, remember he has that little model spaceship. It looks like the Jawa was selling him that toy he had way back in the first movie or the Episode 4. So to
Yeah,
speak.
I think that's it. I think that is the
that,
T16.
that was the impression I got. Joel Edgerton also, he is back from Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, once again playing Owen Lars, Uncle Owen. We didn't see, I don't think we saw Beru this episode, did we?
No.
We didn't see Beru, but Joel Edgerton's, he's turned into quite the actor, so I'm glad they brought him back.
And I like the way he's playing Owen Lars. I like the way
he had one of the tenser scenes this week too.
Yeah.
Considering all he had to work with in Attack of the Clones was that clunky George Lucas dialogue, it's nice that he's got some more meaty scenes this time.
Yeah, and you could see, like, with good dialogue how much he sells the character, and it really shows, like, in A New Hope, how crabby he's gotten over the years.
Yes, it's right. You can almost like see that progression from okay, maybe just the young farmer with his wife, and now he's gradually just getting the older crabbier side of of age, and so and then of course the stresses of the Inquisitors and dealing with Obi-Wan and just wanting to lead a simple farmer's life. So it really it was very believable that he's the younger version of Lars Owen.
Yeah. And I like that we start look obviously Kenobi is not going to stay this way through the entire show. It's a character arc, right? Yeah. But when we meet him at the beginning, he's defeated, he's lost, he's beaten down. He doesn't, he's lost his purpose. All he has is this one glimmer with Luke, that Luke will be their salvation of some sort. And we see him working at that meat processing plant. He always cuts that one little, we see him cut like that one little piece off that he swipes. And that was good. That was good little sort of character building. I like those kind of scenes where it's just Kenobi and he's a lost soldier, everything he fought for is gone. His friends are dead. He feels responsible. It must be hell for him. And I'm glad. And obviously it's not going to stay that way, but it's interesting to get to see an actor like Ewan McGregor get to explore this side of Obi-Wan at this specific point in his life.
So my first thought was, and I didn't think they would do it, right off in the first episode, but when he's trying to contact Qui-Gon, is there anybody does anyone, Jeffrey or Mike, do we think that there's going to be either a voice or maybe an appearance from Qui-Gon by the end of this season? Because I know there's a possibility for a second season.
There's going to be. Wait, how do you know? What's this about a second season?
Well, Ewan has said that he's very open to doing a second season. He's very interested in doing a second season.
All we know, we don't know if they will beyond this, but
right.
I think we will. For them to do this show and not to do a scene with Liam Neeson, there's no way. There's no way.
But
there's no way we are not going to see Liam Neeson.
He is quite busy doing the same film over and over again with different types of names and action sequences.
I can almost guarantee you there is no way whatever the miniseries season, there is no way it ends without us seeing a scene with Liam Neeson back as Qui-Gon, as a Force ghost, as a voice, maybe just as a voice, whatever. We are gonna see or hear Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon.
To be honest, I'm thinking it's gonna be a voice. I don't think we're gonna see him because of the fact that he's always on set making the same movie over again. So there you go.
But like they would not have put that part in with Yoda mentioning that clip from Revenge of the Sith. They would not have called back to that if that doesn't become a factor later. That was put in the recap for a reason.
And there was an interview with Liam Neeson, or I don't know if it was an interview or maybe just a statement that he made. I think it was part of an interview where he said that he would only be interested in appearing. He said in appearing as revisiting that role as Qui-Gon if it was a feature film. Mm-hmm. So that was his statement. I don't know. I don't remember what outlet.
Robert, actors lie.
I know.
It's literally their job. It's literally their job.
Well, like we've had Ewan for the last 7-8 years saying, "Oh yeah, I'd love to do it again, but I haven't been asked." But yet he would show up he showed up twice, 2 times at when I was at the 24-hour or nearly 48-hour Star Wars marathons for the release of the sequels. At El Capitan.
Yeah, Liam Neeson. I'll only do it in a feature. Here's a dump trunk of money. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you do it for a dump trunk of money?
Guest appearance on the Orville, like he wouldn't do like a cameo on a Star Wars. Come on here.
I mean, he did do Family Guy.
Liam Neeson, who are you trying to fool? This is not our first rodeo, Liam Neeson. What do you think this is?
Oh, Jeffrey.
But I think it was a good performance by Ewan McGregor, and I'm looking forward to seeing going through the steps, where he can get back to a place where where his faith is restored, and he believes in the good fight again. I'm hoping that's what this show is ultimately about.
Jeffrey, are you going to be watching episode 2 tonight after this?
I'm kind of angry, so I don't know. I need a palate cleanser. I need like a Star Wars palate cleanser right now.
Well, I would suggest watching episode 2, and there are going to be some mini surprises, little surprises in episode 2.
Well, I think the Leia subplot, that was the one thing they'd really been keeping under wraps for this season, because there wasn't really any footage. There wasn't really any footage or semblance. I mean, I guess we figured we could see Leia or Bail Organa, because we saw him in Rogue One. We saw those characters in Rebels, so we could always assume there was the possibility they would show up. But we didn't know that. Basically, the call to action, so to speak, would be Obi-Wan going to rescue a kidnapped Leia. I think that's what we didn't really realize.
Yeah. But to me, it kind of makes sense. Well, I'm kind of glad that it didn't leak, because now it kind of made me go, oh, okay. Now it kind of makes sense what New Hope, that whole storyline with Obi-Wan and Leia and New Hope when it first starts.
Now here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
If Kenobi meets Leia, does that mess up her message to Obi-Wan Kenobi? No. Because that message, because if she meets and interacts with him, that's a little bit different from the context of her message, don't you think?
I think it adds to it for me.
He says, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. Now he begs you to help him in his struggle against the Empire. I regret that I am. She calls him General Kenobi. I regret that I am unable to present my father's request to you in person, but my ship has fallen under attack, and I'm afraid my mission to bring you to Alderaan has failed.
But I mean, let's keep in mind too. I
don't know. This seems like a character she's never met Obi-Wan before.
She's also groomed as a politician.
Okay.
And her whole life is her being prepared to be that politician.
I don't know.
In my opinion, it just feels like there's a little bit more of a relationship there between Bail Organa and Obi-Wan. now
Yes,
because
yes.
Bail
but I'm talking
Bail
about
Organa
Leia.
really relies
I'm
on
talking about
Obi-Wan.
Leia and Kenobi.
But also too, you're not gonna if you are being chased and you're gonna send out a message that could possibly be intercepted by whatever in the heck is whatever microphones that are inside the ship, you don't want to exactly say how you know, or you want to transcript it and
that's a little contrived to me. That's contrived.
Well, it's truth, because if you look back in history and you hear tapes of World War II, different communications, it sounds like they don't know each other. When honestly they did. And it's something that was occurred because you don't want.
I disagree.
Because you don't want transmissions.
It wasn't a coded message, but it's not a coded message.
But you don't know who's hearing in the ship.
Or if that transmission could be intercepted.
R2D2, the faithful droid.
Still, you don't know what's around.
I'm just saying.
And weren't they aborted? Wait, weren't they already? Stormtroopers were already on board.
We haven't seen the payoff for this, Mike. So maybe he's going to assume an alias when he meets her or something. That would maybe fix it for me. But
actually, you got to go watch episode 2. I would say jump off really quick and watch
Jeffrey,
episode 2.
Go watch episode 2.
What am I supposed to do here? Like, not everyone gets approved for celebration, guys. I'm not as special as you.
I had to pay. I paid for my ticket, sir.
And I got lucky.
Work my butt off. But I'm just not in that. I'm not in that echelon.
Jeffrey, you can just send your Rotten Tomatoes credential to Mike, since Mike doesn't get Rotten Tomatoes.
I did. Exactly. I did, but it's like one step forward, one step back sometimes.
I hear you.
I hear you. I've been there. I've been there too many times.
I still had to beg Disney to give me Bob's Burger so I could go to Bob's Burgers the other night. But apparently, I'm hoping the issue.
Apparently, sometimes you have to wear knee pads, and it's not fun.
That's not Disney. I did not say that.
You have to call that certain PR person.
And look, this is not the thing with Celebration is not a Disney issue. It's a Reed Pop issue. Because
it is a Reed Pop.
Yeah, that was Reed Pop, because I found out today that it wasn't a Disney issue. It was Reed Pop that approved.
Reed Pop is a pain in the ass, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But as much as I would want to do that, I don't think I could be like, "Hey, tomato meter, get me in." I don't think it's even though it's not so simple. But I wish it was.
Because to be open and honest, I got in because Disney approved me to go in, and they only had a select group of numbers that Disney actually brought in.
Have you guys ever watched Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is like way early into the show, where like they're trying to get seated at a restaurant, and Cheryl Hines, she drops a Seinfeld card after they couldn't get a seat, and like Larry David is just so like, "Oh, please don't do it, and she's like, "Hey, my husband here, you know who this is? He's Larry David. He created Seinfeld. Get us a table here." Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
This is like first or second season, but like,
well,
but like I wish it would, but it worked. It worked. Like the hostess does give them a table off of that. So I wish it was that easy.
No, I remember for Celebration Chicago, which was what 18, or 19, 2019. I had already made travel arrangements, secured my my flight and my hotel, and then when I submitted the credentials for at the time for Nuke the Fridge, they denied it. We're like, wait, what? So we're getting invited to the press events with Disney, but we're not. You're denying us from Reed Pop to go cover Star Wars Celebration. So it's Reed Pop. They're a very different type of organization.
Yeah, it wasn't Disney at all, I don't think.
Okay,
because Disney seemed to have brought in like because there were people who got denied who got approved by Disney.
So I'm sorry I couldn't get into the second episode. So how should we pick things up with episode 2, and how do we want to?
I think
remainder of the miniseries.
I think well, because in the rest of the series should probably go as planned.
Right.
It should be at 11:50 like we normally drop.
Unless they start dropping the episodes at 9 p.m. West Coast.
Which would be nice. But I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either.
Did we see tonight happening, fellas?
Well,
no, I think the only reason. Yeah, I think that's the only reason it dropped early, because everybody saw it at Celebration, who was in the first panel, that Lucasfilm showcase, and they released it because they knew word was going to go out fast as soon as people got out, because there's a lot, to be honest, and Robert could attest this with what I'm going to say. There's a lot of theme park bloggers there. Oh. There's a lot of influencers there who were not approved as press.
Right.
Because there were people filming the Lucasfilm showcase that they even stated you weren't allowed to film or photograph the conference. And there was a lot of people who were not press who bought regular admission passes who filmed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, where is security in all of this?
Well, keep in mind, like when D23 does their events, they actually, and you guys have been in there, inside the arena, there's literally security standing right in the aisles, looking for people trying to, lift up their phones for footage,
laser pointers.
Right. So yeah, I don't think Repop quite has that level of security. I mean, but they do tell you, no photos, no video, nothing like that. But
it seems like to me that, considering this event was not just Star Wars and they made it into like basically Lucasfilm with the Indiana Jones and Willow, it seems that Disney maybe needs to take a stronger hand with Celebration.
I don't think they will. The thing is Repop is run by, I can't remember her name, but she used to be employed by, I want to say she was employed before the Disney purchase. She worked for Lucasfilm, and I don't know in what category or department, but she now runs Repop, and there's a pretty strong relationship with Repop, running Celebration and with Disney.
The president is Lance Fensterman. I don't think that's who you were referring to.
No, that wasn't the person. Maybe it's the lady that runs just Celebration then. That may be her main gig, is just running Celebration. I can't remember her name.
I don't think it was always Repop running Celebration though, right?
No, it was Gen Con had the account, and they last ran it in, I believe, 2007. Because that was at the LA Convention Center.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But it seems like once Disney took it over, they gave it more of a. Once Disney took over Lucasfilm, it became like a bigger deal.
I think 2015 was one of the most significant ones.
Yeah.
With Disney and with the launch of Force Awakens, promoting that, I should say.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to pop over on Saturday, what are the things I definitely want to check out this weekend?
Let me take a look at my schedule that is already preordained by Disney. I could tell you what that one should be.
You guys get me some good deals on merch?
Not yet, but they probably will. Mando, a conversation with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. That one's 11 to 12, and that one's going to be really good because I have a feeling they're going to talk a lot.
I'm going to be on like the I-5 at that point.
Because that one is going to be there. I'm sure they're going to talk Ahsoka. And I'm sure they're going to talk about Mando season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how Jon Favreau was saying, "Oh yeah, we shoot it right up the road in Manhattan Beach."
There's one about Kenner action figures.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys get me like a lightsaber or something? Get me a lightsaber replica.
A plastic one?
No, the real thing.
Oh, like the $280 ones from Hasbro that they're going to be coming out. I don't know. I think they've already launched.
Some sort of deal for me.
I'm gonna start. I'll work on that tomorrow for you, Jeffrey. When I get there,
I will see what I can do.
Let's say we can all get like replica True Effects lightsabers or something.
Oh, I already have one. I think I have two.
Yeah, so let's get some.
I may have a Vader and a
group. And then on the next watch party, we can show off the lightsabers and do like a lightsaber battle.
It's not that type of party, man.
Yeah. Wow.
What is it with you, Mike? Lightsabers are.
Let's whip out our lightsabers and let's see what children we have on our plate.
A more civilized age.
He not only wants to cross the streams, he wants to touch them.
Your mind is in the gutter, constantly in the gutter, Mike. I'm talking about the weapon of a Jedi, an elegant weapon of a more civilized age. And you're making dirty jokes, Mike. Dirty jokes.
Well, we're waiting for everybody to finish watching the episode after we have at least 30 minutes of conversation with everybody. Because I have an hard out at 12:30.
Okay.
Because I've got tomorrow's schedule. I got to be there at 9 o'clock, and then tomorrow we have Light and Magic panel.
Yeah.
With Ron Howard and a couple other people, and it's
gonna be with Phil Tippett, legendary stop motion who did the stop motion for Empire with AT-ATs. Dennis Mirren is going to be there as well. Visual effects,
Phil
CGI.
Tippett is an effects legend.
Oh man, that guy! Yeah, there's a really, really good documentary called, and it's completely about his career. I believe it's called Monsters and Magic, and it was done by a French production company, and it just completely, goes into his career as a visual effects artist, stop motion, his influences. But it's really, really good if you can find it. I got a copy at Monster Palooza about a year ago, but on DVD.
He also did Ed 209 in RoboCop.
Yes, yeah, and they talk about that in the documentary, and I believe there's another good documentary on Netflix where it kind of touches.
If there's like a big special effects movie in the 70s and 80s with like stop motion effects, there's a good chance Phil Tippett worked on it.
Phil Tippett animated it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it's like one of the best movies, especially if it's one of the best movies ever made.
Well, I think it's the Jurassic Park on Netflix talks about, it's actually a little bit of a career failure for him with Jurassic Park, how he kind of lost that gig.
Because he as I recall, he did some of the initial work with the dinosaurs on that movie.
Right.
And then that's kind of when they switched over to the computer generated stuff.
Exactly.
And then Steven Spielberg showed it to him and asked him, well, what do you think? He's like, I feel extinct. And then Spielberg's like, that's great. I'm going to put that in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
And that line is in the movie from Sam Neill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But with Phil Tippett was the inspiration for that line. Is that correct?
Yes, that's 100% true.
That's my understanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
how are we gonna talk about episode
Galaxy's
2?
Edge?
Oh, what?
Are you guys gonna get me into Galaxy's Edge? Like if I go, will I go to Galaxy's Edge?
You may go to the edge, but I don't know about Galaxy.
Oh, what they do have is they're really promoting the what's that new experience that they're having? It's a 2-night stay over in Florida at Disney World.
The Galactic Star Cruiser.
Oh, there you go. They're really they have an interactive booth set up there where I guess they could. Yeah, it's towards the back. I can't remember what hall it's in, but it's right next to the Disney Parks merchandise booth.
But is there like a contest where you can enter like a sweepstakes to win tickets or something?
No, because you have to. No, you got to pay your full $50,000 to stay there for 2 nights.
Yeah. You got to give your firstborn a couple vials of blood.
You gotta pay like for a new car.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's like a down payment for a new car.
Right.
It's like get married or go to Galactic Star Cruise.
Go to Galactic
you can have a Star Wars wedding and make Galactic Star Cruiser your honeymoon.
In the long run, you'll have a lot more money going to the Galactic Star Cruiser than getting married.
I agree.
Are there any good collectibles on the exhibit hall floor?
Right. Yeah. What I saw was Hasbro's really showcasing their new products that are coming out. There is a new company. It almost looks very similar to Anovos, who had the licensing agreements for the helmets. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the name of this company, but it's called Dono something. But it looks like they're a new company that took over licensing for helmets. So they had all the helmets on display. I think they had a couple for sale there. EFX was there with their helmets as well. And what is it? Is it the model company? Plastic? Is it Bandai? No. I can't remember the name of it, but it's Plastic Models. They have a $400 Millennium Falcon that's actually pretty big, very detailed. I think it already comes pre-painted. You just put it together, but again, it's $400.
Is the Jon Favreau Mandalorian figure there? Did it sell out?
No. So what they're doing is they're handing you little flyers, and what you do is you scan the QR code, and then that leads you to be able to place your pre-order for it.
So you have to pre-order it online. You don't buy it at the show,
right? Because it's not available, I believe, till early fall. But when I did it, the website wasn't loading, so I went back over to Hasbro. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "Oh yeah, sorry, but we're having issues with our website. It's probably crashing. So many people are trying to buy it." So he said, "Just try it later today or later tonight," and I haven't retried it yet. So I'll be doing that.
We don't know if that's sold out yet. Now that raises a question for me. Now, since Jon Favreau, he voices that character, Paz Vizsla, the heavy infantry Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. And we know he voices the character, but does that mean we might see him actually physically play the character if he gets his helmet taken off at some point, you think?
Ooh, I don't know. They did have a prototype there, and the helmet is off.
Right.
So I did see the prototype.
I know that's like a gag because he voices the character and everything, even though he doesn't physically wear the suit. But, do you think that would be a fun reveal if they demask him and it's Jon Favreau's face? Don't you think?
I think that would be, but I don't think we're going to see any other Mandalorians remove their helmets.
No.
Why not?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we'll see
any. What do you mean? Why not?
Because of the oath, because of the creed. There's no way they're going to do it.
You mean the oath that only a cult of religious zealots follow? That's not even a real code that no other Mandalorian follows. That not even the Death Watch schmucks follow.
Well, it's kind of like, it's you look at it like if everyone lives in Oklahoma, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
What are you even talking about?
The same creed, the same oath.
Oklahoma, Robert.
Exactly.
You're making stuff up.
The Bible Belt, buddy.
Yeah, it's not too far-fetched.
It is far-fetched because we've seen the Night Owls and Bo-Katan take off their helmets. We've seen the freaking Mandalorian royal family take off their helmets. We've seen Sabine Wren take off her helmet and her whole family take off her helmets, and all the Star Wars, all the Mandalorians on Mandalore taking off their helmets. It is not a real law. It's a law that the children of the Watch made up on the fly. Just like
there's a way to explain this.
What is it? What is this?
Chances are I'll get in very big trouble, not with Disney, but with somebody in the South.
Living Waters under Mandalore. What does he have to do?
Mhm.
He has to go to the living waters under Mandalore to redeem himself.
To redeem
This
himself.
is not a real law.
He
These
has
are
to go
not
to
real laws. This is
the
a
Lake
code.
Minnetonka in Minnesota.
This is a law.
Go redeem himself.
Robert, this is a law that was made up by Mandalorian Scientologists. Okay.
Scientologist.
They
Hey,
they worship Lord Xenu. Okay. Xenu, the mythosaur.
I agree with you, buddy, but I don't think we'll see it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't think we're
For
gonna-
now, the closest you'll get is your Hasbro exclusive figure
Not good
with John Favreau's face.
I want Paz Vizsla to take his helmet off, and I want it to be John Favreau underneath.
Yep.
Mike will relay that message to him by tomorrow.
Michael,
Yeah, I
are
will.
you going to talk to Favreau?
I probably there's a chance.
Why don't you just ask him about
There's always a chance.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask him about the action figure, and why don't you ask him? Isn't that against the code, the creed, for him to have his helmet off, and see what he thinks?
I will see what happens.
I think we're making headway.
But-
here, fellas.
Let me see if has anybody finished. Whoever is watching, has anybody finished the show? If you're watching on this or Amazon Fire TV, we're live on both. If anybody has finished watching it yet, because we would love to get into a quick discussion for at least 30 minutes before. And then once we get like maybe 15 of episode 1, 15 of episode 2. So Jeffrey, I don't know.
Wait, do we want to watch? Are we going to start watching some of episode 2 now? What are we doing?
Well, I don't know what you want to do because I got to get up early.
All right, I think
Robert needs to get up early too.
Do we want to
yeah.
wrap things up now and just pick things up next week or for?
We can. I was hoping some people our regulars would jump back in.
Okay.
'Cause I know a lot of them are watching it.
They're
So,
probably going to watch the episodes back to back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I don't know why we want to. That's why I'm saying let's give it till 12:30.
Oh,
So
here's
they-
one other observation I had. Like this week's wait.
Wait up. Get the logistics out of the way first, and then go with it. So I'm thinking we stay till 12:30. At 12:30, we're gonna have to cut it because that's the latest. I think either me and Robert could probably go without being completely dead tomorrow.
Okay.
And
Well,
Robert could get there.
Till 1.
And here's the thing, and Robert could get there later than I have to.
No, I got to get there earlier because you have reserved seating. I don't, buddy.
You do.
I got to fight for my.
Oh, shit.
I got to fight for my stuff now.
Let's
Robert,
reverse
aren't you
that.
over at the convention center?
What's that?
Where are you right now? Aren't you at the convention center?
No, I'm at home. I'm only about 20 minutes from Disneyland. I'm super close though.
Yeah.
So you live in Orange County.
No,
No.
I live just on the other side of Orange County line,
Mhm.
right near Buena Park.
So
Not
what
very
county
far.
are you in?
I'm in LA County, technically LA County.
Wait, how can LA County stretch that far?
It does.
It does.
It does?
Jeffrey?
It does.
Yes, you got to get out of your
County's
bubble.
pretty big. Not as big as San Bernardino County.
Right.
Big.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I think the episode for first episode, that length was a good length.
Yeah.
Episode 2 is going to be a little shorter.
Because
It's a little shorter.
well, my problem, like, did you watch Book of Boba Fett, Robert?
Yes. Yes,
Don't you
I did.
think the first episode was like a bit too like short and kind of thin?
It could have been a little shorter for me because I did not like that series at all until the end.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the first episode, the very first episode of Book of Boba.
It seemed a little short. It did.
Okay, so comparatively, I think this for a first episode, this was a decent length, not a great length.
Oh, yeah.
But decent. It was a decent size length.
Right. Yeah. I would agree.
Aside from the recaps, but I feel like we
Mhm.
got a decent amount of content this week. Like, I would say it was a good 50 minutes ish.
It was 55 minutes total, but again, with the
That's
little
with like
the
that's
recap,
with a recap,
right?
and some credits. So it was like about 48, 50 minutes, I would say.
Mhm.
But it was That was a good length for a first episode, I think.
But also, too, I think the show utilized the time correctly.
Here's another thing I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Strange New Worlds is still a better show than this so far. If I were to put Strange New Worlds first episode against this first episode, I would pick Strange New Worlds.
I've never seen it.
Same with Halo. I would put Strange New Worlds above Halo live action TV as well.
Oh, Halo's just terrible. Strange New World, it's kind of hard. Like, I really like Strange New Worlds, and I loved episode 1 of Strange New Worlds, but it's so different for me.
It is different, but
yeah, and it's hard for me to
what we've had recently with Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
And look, if you like some of the new Star Trek shows, more power to you. But I truly think Strange New Worlds is the best Star Trek series since DS9.
Yeah.
Since DS9.
Yeah, I could kind of agree with you on that one. But for Obi-Wan, I think this started off better than Book of Boba Fett did.
Well, I'll see where we are after the second episode. But I think the problem with Book of Boba Fett is they were a little too short. It wasn't really quite,
here we go.
Didn't really blow us away in the first episode.
Marvin is back. He saw the episode. Those episodes were amazing. Great intro.
All right, Marvin, if you have any other thoughts for tonight, we'd love to hear from you.
We're holding
the cast, the action, the direction, the big reveals. Feel free to share with us.
Yeah, we're holding till 12:30 because Robert needs to get to Celebration earlier than I do. It's still early in the morning.
Yep.
So there we go.
All of us have to be at Celebration today.
Well, I'll explain to you exactly what my day was today. So I worked a graveyard shift last night. I got off work at 6:45, came home, showered, grabbed a breakfast sandwich from Subway, and then went straight to Star Wars Celebration, slept in my car for a bit, and then continued on with my day.
Did you build a better breakfast?
What's that?
Went to Subway. Did you build a better breakfast?
I did. It was Black Forest ham and egg and coffee.
And Marvin saying, by the way, what time next week? Next week we go back to our normal time at 11. We're gonna start at 11 o'clock. Hopefully the show comes out at 11:50 or midnight next week, which I think it is. I think
we normally start it at mid-hour, or
usually we start at 11:30, but I notice if we start at 11, it gives people enough time, and it gives YouTube's algorithm to tell more people to come in. Because I always do it ahead. I always build the shows ahead of time, or the studios ahead of time. So that's why I said 11 o'clock is usually a little bit better.
What if they start dropping episodes at 9 p.m.?
Well, we'll know hopefully by then. I'm sure word would get out.
Was there anything about a new movie today?
No.
Nope.
Nothing about movies at all.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to hear anything about feature films till D23.
Yeah.
Look at it. There's got to be something coming around.
Yeah, Taika Waititi is supposedly going to be the first movie, his film.
Yeah. I would say wait till D23 for any feature films.
I don't think they're going to wait that. I don't think they're going to wait that long.
They're going to wait that long.
D23 is in August. We're already heading into June.
September 8th.
Or September.
Is this
the first day of Halloween Horror Nights is the first day of D23.
Now, Robert, is this like your misguided belief that you think Mandalorians can't take their helmets off, kind of thing?
No, so I'll say this, just as much as I anticipated some word on Indiana Jones today, if not a trailer, something, and then my thought was true. We did get a little bit of Indiana Jones, just a little bit. It's going to be the same belief that we're not going to see any feature film news till D23 during their live action.
Mandalorian, it's against the Mandalorian code to take their helmets off, despite the multitude Mandalorians who take their helmets off without consequence.
You're dealing with Bob Chapek and Disney. They're gonna hold until until they can't. And when D23 is their big thing, and they want to release everything at D23.
Ultron,
before we go forward, let me get to the comments really quick because our audience is here, and Marvin made a couple comments. Obi-Wan was amazing. It's so cool to see his thought process during these years. Also, the Grand Inquisitors were pretty cool, I guess. Also loved little Leia. She was great. I want Vader, though. Ultron says, wow, those episodes were something. What did you all think?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine as a first episode for the most part. I didn't like the casting of the Inquisitors, specifically Rupert Friend is the Grand Inquisitor, who just looked and sounded off and just didn't resemble the character we were introduced to in Star Wars Rebels. Same with Fifth Brother. There was just this disconnect with the character. They seem like two different characters to me, the Fifth Brother in Rebels and the one we saw here.
Just wait till episode 2, Jeffrey.
Yeah, just wait till episode 2.
Ewan McGregor, I think he had good interaction with Joel Edgerton. So, I think it's going to be a redemptive story arc for Obi-Wan Kenobi where he finds his strength again and he learns to, he learns to rediscover hope. And what have you. But yeah, I don't think Rupert Friend was a good choice. I think he's miscast. I think it's a pretty symbolic, pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a pretty
word that you're looking for. Please
don't email. This is a strong case. This is like open and shut, simple case of miscasting. I'm sorry. He's not right. To bring this character into live action for the first time, Rupert Friend was not a good fit. And he doesn't look right. He doesn't sound right. It's not just his voice and his demeanor. It's the makeup, the way the character. He doesn't look like that. The species that we saw in Revenge of the Sith. What was the species?
I don't know. I forgot the name.
I'm going to look that up.
Yeah. While you're doing that, Marvin asked, I'm going to give this question to Robert first because I'm the host of this whole thing. Robert, what did you think coming from Marvin?
I excuse me. I really liked the episode. In regards to the character development and seeing the traits of our characters. We touched on it a little bit earlier. Uncle Owen, you could see the transition to being, the surly, uncle and, farmer that we saw that in episode 4. Again, you can see the character traits in the young Princess Leia, with her being rambunctious and very, very independent as a child. And then the same with Obi-Wan. You see an Obi-Wan that's no longer, the Jedi Knight, no longer, in battles. You see him now just kind of as, I wouldn't say broken, but just in a different environment.
He's
just
lost.
Basically I wouldn't say entirely lost, but I think he's just trying to maintain
burnt out. He's
like
burnt out.
The every person day-to-day job of just trying to live a very low-key life. So that's what I really liked in the writing. And like I said earlier, Deborah Chow can really direct some great action sequences. From the beginning where it's a callback to episode or Attack of the Clones. The opening sequence with the lightsabers and the kids running through the corridor, great scenes, and then even going into episode 2, which I know Jeffrey hadn't seen. I I'm really happy with it. I really like the series so far.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with me. Like, I think the series has started off really good. The Inquisitors, yeah, it's kind of a weird feeling, but I got over it really quick. It wasn't something that seemed like it was something that was gonna throw me off of the story. It didn't really do that for me, but I did see like Reva is just nuts, like so focused and so that everything else does not matter. And
Right.
that's what
Reva
and that's
is
one thing and that's the one thing that I really like. But I didn't like the fact that the others she seems higher than the others. Owen Lars, love that story. You could really see what's going on. I love the fact of bringing in Leia. And like Marvin said, he also wants to see young Luke. I would like to see how that balances with Obi-Wan trying to protect Leia at this moment while Luke is at home. But I have a feeling we're not going to see that much young Luke. We may see at the end him looking like going back to watch over him, but I don't think that we're going to see that much Luke. I think this is a Leia focus after it makes sure that Luke is for New Hope, Leia is in this, and what happened beforehand. And I think that's the way it's going.
I'll be honest too. I don't want to see a lot of interaction between the two. I hope there's no interaction between them.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I want to see, hopefully it's maintained that we see Obi-Wan from afar, just kind of overseeing Luke and his progression as he grows up, as he becomes, from a boy, adolescent and a teenager. So yeah, that's not something I hope they delve too much into.
I don't want Obi-Wan to interact with Leia much either.
That
I would
to
agree.
me that's different. To me, that's with Leia.
Okay, so the Grand Inquisitor is a I don't know how to say this right. He's a Pow on. So he looks different from the ones we saw in live action and animation. He looks more squat and he looks more human than the ones we saw previously. It doesn't look right. I'm not happy with how they did the Grand Inquisitor. I don't think it was the right choice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you got to watch episode 2 because
I'll do whatever I want, Mike. You're not the boss.
Because what you're saying may actually.
Are you saying Jason Isaacs is going to magically show up in this show and fix this mess?
You got to watch it.
You got to watch it.
I don't think that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah, you got to watch it. I'm still kind of tripping out that the fifth brother is Han, and I didn't recognize it.
Well, we do know that Hayden Christensen is portraying Vader at some point in this show. We don't know in what capacity.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He is.
Jeffrey, you need to go watch episode 2.
Earmuffs.
I feel like you guys are making fun of me.
No, we're not making fun.
Absolutely not.
It's kind of hard to not talk about it because it's linked so closely together.
Right. Jeffrey, you need to go watch episode 2.
Yeah,
I'll watch it. I am going to watch it, but I was totally taken by surprise here.
Well, yeah, we were all taken by surprise, but it's the correlation and what the story and the progression of the story is so tight with episode 1 and episode 2.
Interesting.
Yeah. I could see that's why that's a good reason why they released them together because it's very tightly woven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a bit strange looking at 41-year-old Hayden Christensen now. It's like because I remember being in college and seeing these movies and seeing young Anakin. It's just weird. It's like where does the time go?
Yeah, that's what we all say.
Robert
more because Robert has kids, so it makes
it's just weird.
I say that every day.
It's just weird because this pandemic was so debilitating. Mm-hmm. It's like in days and in weeks and months just kind of blended so much. And like before I knew it, it's like suddenly 2 years had passed. And I'm like, I felt like I lost 2 years of my life. And I mean, you know, not to sound ungrateful, there were people, you know, who had it a lot worse than I did, and people who got very sick. But man, it makes me, man, I'm just sad this week. I'm sorry.
I hear you. I know what you mean.
I was sad. I still am a little bit, but I feel better now.
I mean, and I just to put things in perspective, I feel awful about things that have happened this week.
And it kind of sucks because growing up where I grew up, you kind of become numb to it.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I
what Robert does is line of work.
And I grew up in Texas, and you know, it's just tough. It's tough to think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just tough.
Yeah. But let me get to the comments really quick. Ultron, Robert, I agree. Deborah Chow is great at directing those action scenes. Marvin, I love how
mood down, Robert.
Yeah. I love how Obi-Wan is having character development.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also added among the fifth. Oh my God, the fifth brother is Han. Laugh out loud.
Wait.
What episode will we see Vader?
We don't know.
Episode 3.
I think.
So you guys just spoiled the fact that he's not in episode 2. Thanks a lot.
No.
No.
Hang on.
Robert.
I don't think we're gonna see.
Oh wait, so then you
Vader.
just did spoil that he's in episode 2. Ha ha.
No, I'm saying I don't think we're gonna see a full Vader till episode. I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
I'm gonna say we're gonna see a full Darth Vader in episode 4. I'll say episode 4.
A partial Darth Vader in episode 2.
I am sticking to my statement, sir. We're gonna see a full Darth Vader in episode 4.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna tell the judge?
That is my statement as far as I can recollect.
Is that what you're going to tell Judge Ascarate? Is that what you're going to tell the judge?
That's it.
It's a partial Vader. It's a partial Vader, not a full Vader.
Yeah. Yes. With Ultron, he's saying it's crazy that Obi was working a sucky job at some meat market. He went from being a super powerful Jedi in Coruscant to being nothing at some meat market. Yeah.
Kind of everyday worker Joe.
Yeah. It's like being a baseball player that's making millions and millions of dollars, and then you wind up using steroids to get caught and get kicked out of the league, and you wind up just having to get a normal job to survive.
Or you have to follow your wife around to all the Star Wars conventions.
Didn't Kurt Warner work in a supermarket?
Personal experience?
No, what is it? Is it David Eckstein?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't say anything bad about him because we're friends, but still, I get it.
Wait, what happened to David Eckstein?
Nothing. It's just because you're.
It's a smart ass comment.
Yeah, it's a smart ass comment. Nothing's happening with him. He's fine. He's doing
fine.
Yeah, Marvin, Zeke. Will Vader fight the?
You're talking about a 2-time World Series champion.
Hey,
he's fine.
He's
living the dream, man.
Exactly, where you don't have to do anything. You gotta just go to conventions.
I wish I could live that dream.
Yeah,
yeah, that's such a terrible.
Yeah, it's such a terrible life.
Was Ashley there? Was Ashley there today?
I don't know if she was there today, but I know she's having some type of breakfast thing. I think tomorrow.
Tomorrow and Sunday.
She is such a cool lady.
Oh, she's super sweet.
Oh yeah, she's really nice.
Super sweet. She's like so nice.
Her husband's really cool too. If you ever get a chance to talk to her husband, he's actually like a super cool dude.
She's writing like children's books right now. She wrote like a self-help book. She's doing great. She's doing good.
Yeah, David has always been a straight up nice guy ever since he was when I was working with the Angels and.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when you worked with the Angels.
Yeah, he's always a cool guy. Let's get back to the question: will Vader fight the Inquisitors? Who wants to take that?
The answer is no. They're his subjects. They work for him. They answer to him. So no.
Well, but hang on. So if Vader's purpose is to have his Inquisitors hunt down all the Jedi, but you have one of the Inquisitors who is off on their own mission, could that anger Vader?
That could actually be a good point.
Could there be some
if they betray him, yes. If they disobey him, yes. But they work for him. Like at the time of this is before Rebels, and at the time of Rebels, Grand Inquisitor is still alive, Fifth Brother is still alive, and they're in the employ of Vader and Palpatine in the Empire. They're Sith Inquisitors. They work for Vader. So their natural goal is not to fight and be adversaries to Vader. They work for him.
But
now,
I think
if they were to betray him, that would piss Darth Vader off. Yes.
But once again, I think this is where you need to see episode 2, because it really does.
You mean Attack of the Clones? I've seen that movie.
No.
Now that Robert has said what he said, like, now it just sparks something, and maybe it will happen because after
we know Reva is acting on her own to some degree, and she's going against her orders. Like, they're telling her to cool it with the Obi-Wan thing, but she's not letting it go. Like, she's doing it. We know she is likely acting on her own to some degree to set a trap for Obi-Wan Kenobi. We know that.
So I mean, the way I see the storyline with the Inquisitors is Vader has a specific mission for them: hunt the Jedi and destroy the Jedi, kill the Jedi, basically wipe them out. And when you have one individual in that group who is on their own personal mission, then that you're bringing a degree of strife, division into that group. So I could see how there is a possibility that would upset Vader.
That group lives. I mean, it's
well, the other thing is, if the Grand Inquisitor is acting on the orders of Vader himself. If Vader says, "This is my mission for you. This is what I want you to do," and you have one person on your team that is on their own program, then there's going to be issues within that group.
Well, I said that Reva, the third sister, is basically acting on her own with this trap, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Am I incorrect?
Nope. At least to me.
She's laying a trap for Obi-Wan, and the other Inquisitors are like, Fifth brother is like, you're being impulsive, let it go. No.
And I think it's because of the way she's going about it too. Let me get to Marvin's. I think Vader sees them as worthless. Vader would kill them without blinking an eye. Yeah.
Well, I think Vader would kill anybody. Under his rule.
How did the Grand Inquisitor die?
From what? On what?
Well, he died in the first season of Rebels, and he basically killed himself because he was that afraid of Darth Vader.
Episode 2 needs to be watched.
So you're gonna have to watch episode 2.
Because this has nothing to do with episode 2.
Oh no, it has a lot to do with episode 2.
And I'm saying this character who we saw in the first episode is dead in the first season of Rebels. He kills himself in the season finale of Rebels. Yeah. This was years ago.
But you gotta see.
Well, I don't have to see a damn thing. I've already
seen. No, you do.
We've seen
you really do have to see.
But my point is, we've seen the end of this character. we've seen the end. We've seen where this character ends up, and he's dead, and he dies in Rebels.
I will say there is there is some conflict between Grand Inquisitor and Third Sister regarding her obsession with Obi-Wan.
And it probably has to do something with the purge at the Jedi Temple, because she was there when like the troopers came and started wiping everyone out.
Yep.
And I think I'm right about that.
And with that, we have hit the 12:30 mark, and we have to call it for today's show. Marvin says it the greatest way. Good night, guys. See you all next week. Gotta wake up early. Robert needs to be earlier than I do, and I think we should call it for today. We'll come back next week. It's on. They release an episode every Friday, correct?
So every
new episodes will be Wednesday from for the rest of June. Wednesday into
Wednesday night into Thursday morning, potentially midnight.
So, because I saw for somebody had it listed as Friday.
No, Tuesday night. No, Tuesday night, Wednesday, midnight Wednesday.
Okay. Well, let's do.
So Tuesday night, Wednesday morning.
Yeah. So we'll go Wednesday. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. We'll get back to our normal schedule next week. One episode. We'll get in early. Talk about 1 and 2 again, review a little bit, and then we'll go into episode 3 next week. But before we go, how in the world could everybody find you? Let's start with Jeffrey.
Okay, so once again, I am the J to the E to the double F.
I missed that.
Follow me on Twitter at Wheeljack83. I am on Rotten Tomatoes. My latest review, Top Gun Maverick, and my next one will be the Bob's Burgers movie. So that review is already up right now on 411mania.com. So check out my official review of the Bob's Burgers movie, and that'll be up on Rotten Tomatoes soon. So you can find me, can look me up on Rotten Tomatoes as well, Jeffrey Harris. Also, I have some new exclusive interviews coming soon on the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast. So wherever you find your podcasts, the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast, hosted by me, I've got some very special exclusive interviews coming up. So be on the lookout for those soon.
Awesome. Robert, our special guest for today?
Yeah, I'm everywhere. Just hanging out, man. I jump in wherever anybody wants to invite me. But on Twitter, it's Robert Garcia Vintage Car 75. And then Instagram, it's just Drummond Robert Garcia, all the music stuff that I do. So that's where I'm at. And thanks for letting me hang out, guys. I appreciate it.
No problem. And don't forget to check him out. He has a nice little band that you got to go check out every so often because they're really good. So check them out. The Moontones, got to check them out.
Yeah.
Because they're really good. And you can find me here at MUSE TV, MUSE TV 1 on Twitter. Don't forget to follow us on Roku and Amazon Fire TV, wherever. If you have a set-top box or you don't, go to Roku or anything. We're going to expand that in mid-July. And also, too, just stay tuned because we did an interview this week with Samurai Del Sol about his new company that he just launched not too long ago, Candela Labs. And we have Star Wars Celebration all weekend. Follow me tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some live streaming from Disneyland for Star Wars After Dark. I will be there. So we're going to be doing some of that. We may take you on a ride or two. You never know. But we're going to have some fun stuff tomorrow. And then we have all day Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to try and do some live streaming there. So stay tuned to the channel and take a look at the Roku. We also just put up some new interviews that we received today from after the presentation, as well as some one-on-one red carpet interviews that we received. So take a look at those, and we'll see you next week here on the Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi watch party and after show. And next week we'll actually have a watch party, not just the after show. So we'll see you next week. Have a good night and talk to you soon.